Have you ever done credit analysis but hits a wall on compliance because client data gets shown to an outside LLM provider? Well, meet Oblique, a privacy-enabled credit analysis where a local AI reads every applicant document and produces the analysis report without the data ever leaving your device. So here's the problem. Credit teams handle extremely sensitive data, IDs, payslips, bank statements. AI is perfect for this work, but cloud AI creates a compliance problem. Once the data leaves the organization, it can be retained, exposed, or used in ways lenders cannot allow. And the pressure is threefold. PII is everywhere, cloud models are hard to fully trust with regulated data, and rules like GDPR, AML, and Southeast Asian data laws keep getting stricter. So the teams that need AI most are the ones blocked from using it. So here's our solution. Oblique fixes this by bringing AI to the data, not the other way around. The full credit workflow, document reading, structuring, scoring, and audit logging runs inside the lender's own environment. Analysts get AI assistance, but sensitive data never leaves the perimeter. Yeah, here is how it works. Applicant documents are processed locally with QVAC, which turns them into a structured JSON credit profile. Terminal 3 then tokenizes the PII, replacing sensitive data, with placeholder tokens, so the agent reasons over the financial structure without seeing raw identities. The only thing written outside the machine is a signed, immutable proof of what happened. And yeah, the architecture follows three principles. First, run AI where the data already lives. Second, let the agent reason without exposing raw PII. Third, make every action provable. That is why Oblique combines local inference, terminal tree tokenization, and an on-chain audit trail. Layer 1 is obviously QVAC, the local AI layer, and it is the piece we generally needed. It runs language models directly on the analyst's hardware with an OpenAI compatible API. No third-party API, no software as a service, and no cloud. The data stays on the machine, which is what makes private credit analysis possible at all. Under the hood, QVAC gives us one consistent API over many local engines: text, vision, OCR, and embeddings. Bit and LoRa techniques cut memory use by up to 90% versus standard models, so frontier-grade models run on a normal laptop, and that efficiency is exactly why on-device credit analysis is now feasible, not just theoretically private. In Oblique, that translates into three steps: OCR and vision read scan statements and IDs locally. A local model extracts a schema-bound JSON credit profile, and on-device embeddings let analysts query the file. Every step happens on the device, so the model runs where the documents already live. Yeah, why Oblique? Compared to the alternatives, Oblique is the only option that gives lenders AI automation, local data control, and a cryptographic audit trail. Cloud AI is powerful but risky. Manual review is safe but slow. Legacy on-prem software is compliant but not intelligent. Oblique combines all three: intelligence, privacy, and auditability. The team is built for this. Darren Kent brings software engineering experience from Tire Mobile, working on systems, while me bring AI engineering experience from Komunal, an Indonesian fintech with direct exposure to lending workflows and financial data in Southeast Asia. Okay, now let us show you the demo. We upload applicant documents, parse them locally into a structured credit profile, we tokenize the PII, and also the display, of course, the output of credit analysis itself. Everything runs on this machine. Nothing touches the cloud.
This is Oblique. Oblique scores a borrower's credit inside a hardware-secured enclave, where sensitive financials are sealed on Terminal 3, and an agent with a verifiable identity computes the score and issues a credential the lender can trust, without ever seeing the raw data. How Oblique works is quite simple. Simply put, the user can enter the application with their financial data, where their data will be sealed on Terminal 3 in an encrypted vault, and then their data will be de-identified, and a deterministic engine will derive ratios including DSCR, leverage, coverage, and margins, and derive a credit score. Finally, the agent's LLM will turn the de-identified features into a credit opinion, and the agent will issue a credential that a lender can verify. Now, that's it for the explanation. Let's jump right to the demo and the capabilities of Oblique right now. I'm going to go down here and launch the analyzer. Now in here, the user can simply upload their financial documents to be analyzed for their credit score. Now here, I've prepared some example data as PDFs that we can use directly in the platform. I'm just going to open them up to see how they look like. So here we have the first example. It's a pretty simple bank financial statement. And here are some other examples for the other financial documents. They are all sample example data, but they will serve quite well for our example here. Now, in the main page, I'm going to drag all the PDFs here to the drop zone. And here, I'm just going to parse the documents by clicking this button here. Now in Oblique, it uses QVAC to actually parse the documents here, either using OCR or structured text extraction from the PDFs. It will detect if the PDF is an image or text, and will adjust its process accordingly. If it's an image, it will utilize OCR to capture the text, and if it's only text, it will directly extract it into readable fields. And after parsing the documents, it will try to fill the fields here preemptively, so the user does not have to fill the fields manually. As you can see here from the data that we have provided, it has successfully validated the data and also preemptively filled the fields here. Now, normally a user will need to verify all this data, but since this is just example mock data, I am going to skip over it, and we are going to skip right to scoring the application here. So we can just simply click this. Well, you can adjust the data manually first if you need to, but here I'm just going to skip it, and I'm going to score the application directly. And here it is going to authenticate on Terminal 3, and also call the LLM agent that we provide, so that it can derive the credit score, and also the opinion. Now here we have the results. The credit score here, the short explanation on the right side, and the numbers here. We also have the analysis verdict, where it shows the strengths, risks, and also the conditions, and the opinion of the agent on the credit. We also have a score breakdown, where it shows all the weighted pillars that make up the score here. And you can read all the reasoning here, all the reason codes. We can also look at the credential here. And there's also a verifiable credential, which you can see the agent ID here. You can also reveal the information that was hidden from the LLM agent. And finally, on the Terminal 3 receipt, you can see the development steps and some of the DIDs that were used in the analysis. Now, it is important to note that while the LLM is from a cloud provider, it does not have access to any of this sealed info here. It was de-identified. And the QVAC itself that processes the documents is run fully locally. So none of the sensitive data actually comes out from the local environment. And it is very, very safe. It's encrypted and also locally processed. And there we go. There's the whole capability of Oblique.
So yeah, for years, the best use of AI in finance was also the hardest to approve. Because the data was too sensitive, Oblique changes that. Private by construction, auditable by default. We bring AI to the data it was never allowed to near.